Okay, what's up guys? In today's video I'm going to show you guys what I finally needed to do to get the factory amplifier to work on our dash swap. If you guys didn't watch the last few videos, we went ahead, swapped out the dash, swapped out the wiring harness, and we put an 8.4 Uconnect in this truck behind me. Originally it came with just your standard stereo, the smaller one, and this bezel. So if you guys are new to the channel and you want to check out how to do that, how to put in one of these 8.4 touch screens, the Uconnect, then go check out those videos. But in this video I want to update you guys because the last video we got everything working, but we were just wrapping some stuff up and we didn't have sound. So everything worked, everything functioned, and it came on. You could sit here and operate all of this, your HVAC stuff, but when you went to go ahead and turn up the sound, you didn't have any sound. But obviously you can tell now we do. So I had to kind of dig into this a little bit before finally figuring it out, and I'm happy to report that I did figure it out. So now I'm going to show you guys what I did to get it working, and some of you guys might actually be relieved that it's doesn't require programming. So let me show you. Okay, so as soon as my buddy Roman kind of mentioned this to me, it kind of gave me like a, oh yeah, that makes sense moment. So if you think about it, in your fuse box, you have fuses for everything, right? So what happens is your fuse box supplies the power to the rest of your vehicle, and you guys have probably, if you've ever owned any sort of vehicle and you ever popped a fuse, usually on the back of the lid of the fuse box there is a host of items, and it says, you know, all these different options. You know, it might be, you know, you might see a fuse for a sunroof and you're like, well, I don't have a sunroof, and it's going to be empty. Well, same kind of theory applies here when we're talking about options on these trucks. So for the same reason that this one doesn't have an amplifier, it's not going to have a fuse for it, and so that circuit from there to our amplifier was non-existent. So you can see here, I've got this red wire running across. I'm probably gonna end up redoing it at some point. And other reason why is we're gonna be adding a ton of features. So at some point in time, rather than me having to continuously run wires for different things, I might end up trying to get the fuse box and this wire harness that goes into the cab from maybe a Laramie truck. That way I don't have to, you know, depending on how many times I end up running into this scenario. But what I had to do was I had to run a positive wire to a fused power source to give us power for the amp. So you guys aren't missing anything under here. Like I said, I'm probably gonna dress this up a little bit nicer, but I had to come to the fuse box to get some power to bring that positive lead back over here to power the amp. So now I'm gonna show you guys inside the truck. So here we are underneath the truck. So here's our amplifier right here. And you'll notice a red power wire right here. Well, my red power wire didn't have power. Traced it back. It was in this large connector right here. And on the other side of this right here, there is no spade connector on the other side of this. So if I pop this out, what I ended up doing was just externally bringing it out. I didn't cut any wires because, like I said, I might end up trying to get this factory pin and getting it through here. But for now, it was just as easy as taking it out of here, putting a spade connector on, and running a power wire. And then we had sound. So if I go like this and I pop this out, I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So this came from right here. Hopefully you guys can see that pin. And if you look, if I can get the camera in here, right there, there is no wire on the back side of this to feed it. So what I did was just popped it out of there, gave it power. So after feeding power through there, now everything works, and she sounds pretty good. So one thing I will kind of update you guys on, I ordered this bezel here. So it's a completely different bezel from our plastic dash. So unfortunately I couldn't use the original one. So I ordered this bezel. That's should be showing up in the next few days actually. Other thing I have been testing for you guys is, as you recall, I only had the 2 corner speakers. You can see over here, I put the 3rd speaker, and I didn't have the same type, like the basic one, so I put in these ones that I had from the Hellcat, and holy cow, you guys, crazy sound difference. So I'm gonna do that comparison video for you guys. Like I said, I just temporarily threw that one in there, and when I plugged that one in at the same volume, because I just had it playing some music but had it at a stationary volume, plugged in that center speaker, and it was honestly like at least 4 times louder than the stock standard ones. And the other thing I mentioned to you guys too is I was waiting for that little grill to arrive. And the other thing is this cluster. So I do have the premium cluster, so that's going to be probably in the next video, honestly. And let me show you guys that stuff. So here is the center speaker grill that I was telling you about. I got to clean it up. I bought it used off eBay for 20 bucks, if you guys are wondering how much some of the stuff costs. And you can see here's the other one. Obviously doesn't have the cutout for the speaker. So, and this one sits a little bit higher to actually allow for that speaker. So slightly different, and that's going to allow us to have our center speaker there. And then as far as the gauge cluster, this is the premium cluster that we're going to be installing. So pretty excited to get that in there too and button up some other stuff. So we'll have this and we'll program this so that everything works accordingly. So if you guys are interested in all this stuff and kind of upfitting these base model trucks, then you're definitely in the right place. All right, so I just want to make that quick little video for you guys, showing you guys what it takes to get this thing ultimately working. So other than that, it's good to go. You might be wondering where's the seats, all that stuff. You guys will also be excited to know that I did order a center console. So I ordered that from LKQ, hoping that it shows up pretty soon here. I think it's supposed to show up within a week or so. And then center console will go in, and then we will be putting the Hellcat seats. So I figured there's not really a point in putting the truck back together right now with the jump seat and those cloth seats, the ones that are over here. Figured I might as well wait, and the center console can show up. That way we can go ahead and put in our Hellcat seats that we have tucked away in the corner here. So can't wait to get those things in. That's going to be way nicer. So that's it, you guys. I just want to keep this video straight, concise, and to the point. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Let me know what else you guys want to see down below, or if you have any other questions. We got a lot more exciting stuff coming for these trucks and more on the way, so stick around. We'll catch you guys on the next video.